Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Amina Mohammed.
It's Samantha Kimball.
I'm Sandra.
And you're listening to
The
Space
Around
Around
Us.
Us. Our standard for today's episode is S4E1. Obtain, evaluate, and communicate information to compare and contrast the physical attributes of stars and planets. We will focus on explaining the difference between stars and planets today. I have always been fascinated by planets and the stars. I love to go night gazing and catch a glimpse of a shooting star or even a planet if I'm in the right position. Have either of you ever wondered what a star looks like up close or what the planets look like in space? Oh, for sure. Yes, me too. So I'm really excited to be diving into this today. After doing a bit of research, I found that stars are known to be astronomical objects that produce so much gas, like hydrogen and helium, that they emit their own light. Just imagine, if you could live on a star, how high-pitched your voice would sound and how lightheaded you'd be all the time. I think it is so interesting that the light stars emit is so strong that it falls into our planet and cuts right through the atmosphere. That's why when we look up at the stars, we see them twinkle at night. The light that emits from stars is so powerful, you guys, because truly, stars are light years away. So the light we see is coming from an unimaginable distance. Did you know that the sun is a star? The sun is the closest star to us here on the earth, which is why we rely on its light to give us life, warmth, and time management. And planets, they're known to be celestial objects, so they don't emit light of their own. So technically, without stars, planets would have no light whatsoever. They would literally just sit in the dark of space. But because sun provides light to all the planets in our solar system, sometimes when we look up at the sky, we're not looking only at the stars, but we're also looking at planets too. Being that the planets are closer together than the stars are, we can see the light that's being reflected from one of the planets, and we might mistake it for a star. I think stars are really just so cool, and I don't think they get as much credit as planets do, but I think they're kind of cooler. What can you tell us about the attributes of some of the planets in comparison to stars, Samantha?
Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and has no moons. You can actually see Mercury from Earth if the sky is clear. Earth that we live on is the third planet from the sun, and we have one moon. Next, we have Mars. It looks red, and it has two moons. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the sun and the largest of all the planets in our solar system. It was named after the king of the gods in Roman mythology. Jupiter has 79 moons, and it's made up of gas of hydrogen and helium. Saturn is my favorite planet. It's known as the ringed planet. It is the sixth planet from the sun, the second largest, and it is made out of gas with no solid surface at all. It's about 9 times bigger than the planet we live on of Earth. It has 82 moons, and the temperature on Jupiter is really, really cold. The next planet is Uranus. It's the second farthest from the sun, or the seventh planet. It's famously known as the sideways planet because it actually sits tilted on its axis instead of up and down like the other planets. Uranus has 27 moons.
Whoa.
And it is a big ball of gas, just like Jupiter and Saturn. But instead of hydrogen and helium, it contains water, ammonia, and methane. And these materials are called ices, so we call Uranus the ice giant. Neptune is the 8th planet. It's the farthest from the sun, and it has 14 moons, and it's 4 times bigger than Earth. It is an ice giant, but it's mostly composed of water, methane, and ammonia as well. Though it is a little bit smaller than Uranus, the sunlight reaches Neptune's dark and cold world in about 4 hours.
How cool is that, Sandra?
You know, I find all of this to be so interesting. I was able to find a few planetariums. If you'd like to learn more, check out the University of North Georgia George E. Coleman Sr. Planetarium in Dahlonega. And guess what? Events are free and open to the public. Just go to ung.edu and search for planetarium and you'll find more information. And what is so cool is that it features a 30-foot diameter dome and a state-of-the-art Digistar 6 full-dome digital planetarium projector.
That sounds so cool. Where can we find more information on that?
Again, just go to www.ung.edu and search for planetarium. Also, in Atlanta, they have the Fernbank Science Center, and it has one of the largest planetariums in the U.S. Go to fernbank.edu to find out more information about special events, exhibits, field trips, as well as admission.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Sandra. I would love to check that out.
Well, ladies, I think this concludes our episode on the stars and planets.
I think you're right, Sandra. Join us for our next episode where we will unpack the technological advances that allow us to learn so much more about outer space and what else is out there. Thanks for tuning in to the space around us.